After a long hiatus of hunting purgatory, Casey from MindSeedTV has officially uploaded a YouTube response video to all of the things going on surrounding that topic. And I've seen it so far, kind of like bits and pieces of it. It's an interesting one, so I wanted to dive into it today to see if it is simply strange. So over on his YouTube channel, he has put up a video saying it's time to address the rumors, my one and only response. Let's get into it.
Today's video, hopefully I'm going to answer a lot of questions that I know a lot of you have because I feel like you deserve it. Yeah, it's going to be a heavy video today, just us talking here one-on-one. So one of the first things that you'll probably notice in this video is there are no ads whatsoever, and you won't see any ads in this video. And the reason being behind that is because I'm not making this video for monetary gain. I'm making this video so that you guys can receive this message loud and clear. And
okay, off the bat, you know, on the surface, that seems very, very fair. You know, he's obviously trying to address some rumors and speculation, and, you know, he just wants to get the message out there. He's not doing it for financial gain, and fair enough.
I'm going to give it to you as straight and as real as I possibly can. No bullshit. To start things out, I'm just going to say this video is intended for the patrons. And I feel like if anybody's owed an explanation on anything, it's the people who are really here to support what I do as a creator and what I've done as a creator.
Now, from what I've seen online, this is where it begins to kind of get a bit ropey. Because obviously, Casey says at the very beginning, this is not for monetary gain. This is not for, you know, there's no ads on this video because I don't want to make money. But then instantly straight after that says, like, goes on and promotes the Patreon. And I understand why he would have done that. Because obviously, you know, as people that are financially investing in the channel, they do deserve to have that level of kind of priority over the regular viewer, let's say. And I understand that. Obviously, I've seen some stuff online and kind of other YouTubers talking about the situation and kind of going on to talk about, well, actually, you know, why it's a bit weird that he says it's not for financial gain, and then suddenly the first thing he promotes is his Patreon. And then also the merch at the beginning as well. So, you know, it's a bit of a double-edged sword.
Really, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys sticking with me as long as you have, and that's why I'm making this video right now. This video is important. It's important to my fans, it's important to the fans of Hunting Purgatory, and it's also important for you guys just to know exactly where things are on my end and where I stand on everything. When is Hunting Purgatory coming back? That's the main question that I know most of you at home or watching this video right now are wondering. And
now, of course, Hunting of Purgatory is the biggest thing MindSeed has ever done. Like, you know, the editing level was phenomenal. It was leagues above any TV show or YouTube show. It was probably the cleanest paranormal investigating show across any media. And I stand by that. You know, Casey has done a phenomenal job of that work. You know, it completely beats other YouTubers, and it also beats the likes of Ghost Adventures, which, by the way, have multiple teams creating the show. Casey did a phenomenal job. And, you know, it was probably what blew him to the success that he's got now.
And it's time that I bring you up to speed. And before I jump into the actual reasons as to why Hunting Purgatory Season 6 hasn't returned yet, I figured I'd just take a quick moment to clear some of the rumors that have been going on, because I've read some comments and I've noticed a couple people saying, oh, it's because people were making diss videos about them. First of all,
again, the diss video comment was something that the internet has responded to and kind of been like, basically, I think he's trying to allude to the debunkers without alluding or saying debunker, right? And that's something that I was kind of taken aback by, because, you know, he goes on to talk about that, and he, you know, if he's going to allude to that, just go balls to the wall and just be like, nah, it's not because of any of these guys making content about me. Like, that stopped it. I don't care about those guys. You know, their points were irrelevant to me personally. And that would have been enough. But then to go on and kind of, like, allude to it but not fully go all in with it is a bit like, you know, it's like he went for it and then he had to kind of rein it back in a little bit. And it was like, like, if you're gonna call someone out, do it properly.
Well, that was the first time that I had ever even heard of these people when I read those comments. If you think for 1 second that somebody who is talking trash about the work that I've done has enough power to dictate or deter me from creating the kind of content that I love to make, you're out of your fucking mind. Let's just get that out on the table now. I'm extremely proud of the work that I've created personally on this channel and the work that everyone that's joined me on my team has created. And when I first came up with Hunting Purgatory...
Now, obviously, that's a respectable thing to hear. You know, like, he's proud of his work, and if someone, if anyone thinks that that particular group of people, let's just, you know, outline it as the debunkers, that's clearly who he's alluding to, you know, are going to stop me, you're out your mind. Because, you know, I love what I do. It's not going to stop me. This is what I have set out to do. Respect that. It's fair, you know, and, you know, I think to a degree the debunkers will probably look at that, and, you know, the people that will, who may not like Casey for whatever reason, might turn around and look at that and be like, do you know what? Fair enough. Yeah, I don't like your content and I'll, you know, pick it apart or whatever. But you stand by it. You are proud of what you do. I can't take that away from you. And I think that would have been, you know, I think that would have not had a negative response.
I had one goal in mind, and that was to create the most entertaining paranormal series that anyone has ever seen. And to be honest with you, I can look you in the face, well, in the lens, and I can tell you with full confidence, I have done that.
Yeah, I stand by that confidence. You know, he's proud of his work, and so he should be. Like I said before, Casey's unrivaled. MindSeedTV, goated when it comes to the editing, the shots, the work that he's put into it. Fantastic stuff. Leagues above anybody else. And, you know, yes, it may seem as like an arrogant response to say, I've done that. But, you know, credit where credit's due. He has done that.
And there is nothing that anyone can say to take that away from me. From the oh shit moments to where there's a countdown on the screen, or the trailers at the beginning of the Hunting Purgatory episodes. The sounds, the atmosphere, all of it. I'm responsible for that, and I'm proud of that. Another thing that I've been seeing in the comments is they're probably overseas filming right now. That's why they're dropping top 10 videos. No. Unfortunately, that's not true. We're not overseas filming right now. We have been taking time off since the end of season 5. And during that time off, I can't speak for Colton, but I can speak for myself. Being away from home year after year, month after month.
Now, it's interesting that he should allude to Colton there, because obviously Colton was, and same with Tanner. You know, those three guys, they were just there one time and then all of a sudden not. You know, like, it's all Casey now. And there was no kind of explanation as to what was going on. And obviously, when there's no explanation to something, that leads to speculation. And when you get speculation, it sometimes leads to drama. I have reached out to both Casey and to Colton privately to see if they'll, like, comment on the situation. Neither of them have got back to me yet, but if they do, I'll let you know.
The one thing that you guys have to understand is the bills at home don't stop. The people that are waiting to spend time with us are constantly on hold. We don't have any time with our loved ones. Oh yeah, having a relationship of any kind, when you're traveling like that, it sucks. And by sucks, I mean, it's damn near impossible. So
yeah, fair enough. I mean, there's no denying that. I mean, as a content creator myself, I upload 4 long form videos a day, like 8 shorts a day, every single day of the week. It's, you know, and I'm not, this is just from this room here. And, you know, like, I've obviously got other channels that I'm going to be opening up and creating content for soon as well. So I'm looking at, like, at the moment, I'm juggling like 8 YouTube channels, which is crazy. But I'm not going out and, you know, going to overnight to these places and spending weeks away from my family on road trips creating content. So I can only imagine the strain that could possibly have on, you know, a family man. I couldn't do it. I would struggle too much to be away from my baby and my fiance, you know. It would be very difficult. But, you know, I can only imagine how hard that can be.
Our personal lives pretty much crash and burn to hell. And overall, it gets frustrating just living out of a suitcase. Since we ended season 5, Colton and I haven't really been in touch that much. There is no hard feelings between Colton and I. I know that he's busy living his life right now, and I respect that. I have nothing but respect for that.
And again, he's touching on the subject, but not giving, like, he's not giving the fans an understanding And I will say, I am a huge fan of MindSeedTV. I've had multiple conversations with Casey behind the scenes over on Instagram and stuff, like from like a long time ago. And, you know, we chat every so often. But, you know, this is it's something that, like, as a fan of MindSeedTV, I'm like, what happened? You know, like, he's alluded to them not really talking much, but they seem to be like brothers in the show. Like, it's weird that would suddenly just break down. Like, a relationship like that doesn't just break down, and that, again, that leads to speculation about what's gone on.
But right now, as of this moment and the last few months, it's just me here on the channel. So when I see a lot of you guys writing comments like, you guys rock, can't wait to see you guys, hey Casey and Colton, there's no team anymore. It's just me.
And again, that's comes across as a jibe against Colton. You know, it comes across as a little jab, because he's like, you know, comments are saying, yeah, like, I can't wait to see you guys together. I can't wait to see you pair together. I can't wait to see what you guys bring to the table. And Casey's like, Colton did nothing. This is all me. This is all me. Colton, nah, irrelevant in this instance. You know, he's not part of the topic anymore. Don't bring him into this. This is all me. You should be thanking me for this content. That's how it comes across. And it's a bit like, ooh, that's a bit shady to Colton. Even though you've just stated that there's no bad feelings, it seems like there's a bit of a grudge. That's just how it comes across.
I'm doing what I need to do to keep the channel rolling in the meantime, so I can't begin to express how grateful that I am for those of you who have chosen to support the channel, and I understand what comes with that. There's an expectation to deliver from me, and I understand that your support means, when is the next season? When is the next episode? When is the next type of video that I want to see? Because I'm supporting you. I don't know when it's coming back. I don't have an answer for you. And if that means that you want to unsubscribe to the Patreon right now, if you want to go, I understand. I appreciate everything that you've done. For those of you that want to stay and continue supporting the channel and supporting me, I'm the only one holding things down, and I'm going to continue doing that.
Again, it seems a bit shady against Colton, but also it feels like he's kind of skirting around the topic of, you know, and he goes on to it a little bit later on in the video. It seems a little bit like the other content that takes less time and financial burden is obviously doing very well. So why would I go back to that? But then by saying that, you almost alienate your core fan base into that. You put them in a box, and you're like, you're just like, you sit over there nice and quiet for me, and I'll get back to you when I can, you know, and I'll get back to you. I might do it again, I might not, I don't know, but just go and sit in that box, and you just wait patiently for me to bring back the content that you subscribed for. And it's a bit like, is it just prolonging the inevitable? Is it like, has he seen a dip in numbers on maybe subscribers, and he's like, oh shit, I'd better make a response video, tell these people that, yeah, this content might be back soon, but just hang on for it, just stay there, don't forget, just stay subscribed and stay on the Patreon, because, you know, like, it might come back soon. I'm just doing this for the time being because it's just me. And it's a bit like, oh, does that just kind of alienates a bit of your core fan base, and it comes across as a bit business as opposed to content creator. And, you know, that's a very fine line where people subscribe for content creation, not for your business. Does that make sense?
As long as I have to. All right, let's talk about something that's a little bit more uncomfortable to talk about, which is the financial aspect of hunting purgatory. Ooh, a lot of people just think we show up to these places and film for free, and all of these episodes just magically happen.
Okay, I don't think that people expect that. Obviously, we've had the whole Conjuring House drama. And at the very beginning, there was already friction with the Conjuring House because of how overpriced it was to go and spend a night to investigate there. People had made videos, the Side Eye guy did, for example, where he stated he broke down the costs of just going there as a content creator to film. And it cost in the region of about $2,350, I think it was, for one night recording. Like, you're going to need millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views at least, to see that kind of return on a video. So, you know, I think people know that it's not cheap and it's not free.
I'm the one funding everything, and I'm not a millionaire, just so you know. Just because somebody has 1 million subscribers on YouTube does not mean that they are a millionaire. Subscriber counts don't mean bank accounts. Let's just get...
Yeah, if I'm honest, Casey's absolutely spot on with that. Like, subscribers are just a novelty now. Like, not novelty, but what I mean by that is, like, the views are what translate into cash, not subscribers. It used to be all about subscribers with YouTube, but then they changed up the formula like a few years back, and it's all about the views. The more views you get, the more money you make, the more financial benefit you get from a particular video. And that's why everyone, YouTube-wise, is all about the views. You know, like, people will only make content about a topic if they know it's going to do well. Regardless of whether, you know, you love that kind of content or not. Any YouTuber that says otherwise is, you know, not being 100% truthful with you. Because views matter. They absolutely do.
That clear right now. Every single trip that we have gone on, from season 1 to season 5, 80 plus episodes, I am the one that has to pay for the hotels we stay at, all the flights, meaning mine and whoever else is accompanying me from the other side of the United States. I pay for all the meals when we're on the road. I pay for the rental car. I pay for the locations that we have to rent out, meaning if we have to rent out a hospital overnight that's haunted, it might cost $2,000 to $3,000 to have it all night long. I'm the one that pays that. I also have to pay my teammates. Yes, maybe you didn't know that, but everybody that's ever joined me on any season of Hunting Purgatory, there is a compensation fee. And why is that, right? Why? Some of you might be thinking to yourself, well, why would homies do that to each other? It's because it's business. If I am taking someone away from their home life, if I'm taking someone away from their job, their steady income, that's not guaranteed to be there when they get back. So if someone has to be on the road for a week or two, and then next month they have to leave again, who's to say that when they get back home, their job isn't like, hey, you know what? You haven't been here for weeks. It's over. Terminated. These guys that travel with me need...
Yeah, that's fair. You know, he's completely fair to say that, and, you know, the whole situation with people, like, if he's going to take people away from their jobs, there needs to be a level of compensation. I respect that.
Some kind of reassurance that when they get back home, they're going to be able to survive. I'm paying anyone that ever travels with me for their time away from home, their missed work that they would be missing, and it gets costly. So when I tell you that I've spent over $150,000 on creating season 5 of Hunting Purgatory, I'm not exaggerating.
I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. But if I was to like look at Casey's YouTube channel and look at season 5 in particular, let me just pull it up, MindSeedTV, and I was to look at the viewing figures of that thing. So Hunting Purgatory season 5. There's 23 videos in here, and in the playlist. So first episode, 1.9 million views. All right, and then episode 2.
Imagine
1 million views. Episode 3, 1.6 million views. Episode 4, 3.7 million views. I reckon from those first 5 episodes, Casey's probably earned his money back. Anything after that is probably profit. And there's 23 episodes. Well, 22 if we discount the video that he uploaded here. You know, so I understand that $150,000 is a shed load of money to create for a season, and to do that on your own without the backing of you know, like what TV you've got with a network, for example, that's a lot of money to fork out on your own. 100%, there's no denying that. But to have 4 episodes, and most likely, I can't say for certain because of course it's all about RPM, it's about CPM, it's all about, you know, revenue per whatever it is. It fluctuates and changes depending on video length, advertisement, you know, how advertiser friendly it is, the videos, for example. But you know, you got to think that these videos are probably making in the region of, I can't even speculate, a lot of money per episode, not to mention the amount of Patreon members that you probably get off the back of each episode. you're probably recouping your money quite easily. There's no denying that. And it's, yes, it's a financial burden to have that, for sure. But, you're turning a profit on each season, without a doubt.
So the type of numbers that Hunting Purgatory videos were pulling in, I mean, some of them were great, some of them not so great. When I spend $6,000 to $10,000 on one episode, I'm talking about the traveling to get there, the stays in between nights that we're not filming, the flights, the food expenses, the rentals, everything included. When I pay all this money for one episode and then it doesn't perform well, or this is a really big one, and I'm glad I got to touch on this right now, YouTube decides, we're not going to pay you for this video because you mentioned things like death.
Yeah, actually, that's something I didn't take into account. That's fair. That's fair, actually. YouTube could just completely pull that out underneath you. Yeah, actually, he's got a fair point.
I don't have the words for that, okay? I don't. Because after spending so much money, so much time away from home, and then I get home and spend 60 hours on editing this episode to make it look better than a TV show for you guys. And then YouTube decides to say, we're not going to pay you for this one because we feel like it goes against our content guidelines. That's happened to me more times than you guys can realize. There is no bigger kick in the nuts than that. When you know that you have put your heart and soul into something, you have worked your ass off, and your boss says to you, sorry, I'm not paying you this week. YouTube literally demonetized almost half of a season's worth of content because of the content nature.
Okay, so with that now context, I retract my previous statement. He probably didn't turn a profit. He probably just broke even, maybe turned a little bit of profit on that season. I didn't know that to begin with. I was just going solely off of the views. So yeah, let's take that into account as well.
Apparently, you can't say words like death, suicide, murder, killed, died, COVID, the Paris Olympics. Wait, that one's probably still allowed, but for the time being, it hurts, okay? Financially, motivation-wise, it takes a toll. And I'm just going to be honest, if I wasn't putting back so much money into creating season after season after season for 5 years straight, I would have been in a much better spot as far as finances go, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but also, you've got to look at the flip side of that conversation. Yes, you might be in a better financial state, but would your channel be where it is? That's the question. Obviously, the reason I became such a fan of MindSeedTV was because of the undying, relentless effort that Casey clearly put into the videos. And, the crazy paranormal encounters that he had was at these locations. It was unlike anything else. So, if he didn't have that, and he didn't do that, would his channel be where it is today? I can't say, because there's so many factors at play. Maybe a different type of content would have hit with him. Maybe it would have all flopped. Maybe it all would have succeeded. Maybe he would have just rode the wave. But what happened was Hunting with Purgatory blew up. And this channel blew up because of that. So to say that this channel is, could he have just had a cushy gig if he had not done that? I don't know if he can necessarily say that.
Because I did all that dedicating everything that I had to giving you guys 5 seasons of the best possible work that I could. And then add on top of that, there's a lot of people saying, well, how come you're not making the Paranormal Investigations? Well, how come the last couple videos I dropped only got like 200,000 views when we have 1.8 million subs on the channel? Think about that. So those of you who are saying in the comment section on YouTube, we want more of this and we want more of that. How are you speaking for 1.8 million people? You're just talking for the whole subscriber count, aren't you, buddy? It doesn't work like that. I'm technically a DJ, and what I have to do is figure out what the audience is dancing to, and I have to play the kind of music that they want to hear. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not going to sugarcoat any of this. I'm going to give this to you like raw. I'm going to give it to you the way that it really is. Now, I understand that some of you are only waiting on one type of video and one type of video alone, but that doesn't mean that a majority of the channel isn't waiting on other things.
Yeah, fair enough. But again, it comes back to this whole like putting that bracket of people in a box and telling them to just wait there, and you know, your time will come. I'll come back to you when I'm ready. I don't know. I just feel like Casey's accidentally alienated a lot of his audience through doing that, because his audience was built on Haunting of Purgatory. Not all of it, I must say, not all of it at all, but you know, a lot of it. Yes, it might not be what's piquing the interest of the viewer right now. And of course, as a content creator, everyone has to adapt with their channel. I've had to do it across all of my channels multiple times. You have to just pivot and just move in the direction that YouTube is pushing right now. I don't know, man. It's again, I see it from both sides as a viewer and as a creator myself. It's a difficult line to walk.
And once I realized that, and I started creating different types of content from home without having to travel, without the burdens and the extra expenses and everything else, how did one of those videos get 3 times the amount of the average Hunting Purgatory video in 1 month? Wait, before I continue with that, there's one more thing I need to address. I've seen a couple comments, people saying stuff like, this channel's going down hard, man. Oh, this channel fell off. I see what you're saying. I read your comments. And then I think about that Jay-Z line. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I look at the last 6 months of the channel, and I've gained more subscribers in 6 months than I have in 2 years of creating Hunting Purgatory. So what does that tell me? That tells me that when I'm making Hunting Purgatory, I am literally catering to the same crowd over and over and over. And if you're a Hunting Purgatory fan, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy making content for you. What I'm saying is, as a content creator, my goal is to grow just like every other content creator out there. Yep. And if I'm only catering to the same crowd of people over and over and over, there's no growth in that. Well, that's food for thought, isn't it? By the way,
yeah, I understand where he's coming from here. Like, of course, like like I said before, you've just got to pivot with what's good right now. And, you know, as the content creator that Casey is and how driven he is, of course he's going to do that. He's going to move with the times. He's going to... Hunting of Purgatory is what made him, but that's not what defines him, I think is what he's trying to say. And, you know, he's got a lot more strings to his bow. Respect it, but again, alienating your core fan base is a difficult one. It's a real difficult one.
Today's video is sponsored by absolutely fucking nobody. So if you'd like to support the channel, check out the MSTVstore.com. I've made some really cool designs in the MSTV store. I'm the only one updating the website now. I'm the only one designing the merch. It's all on me, guys. And if you are watching this video on Patreon, I will make a post within the next day or so, giving 20% off the entire store. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for supporting the channel.
Fair enough. I mean, like, I can't argue with that.
All right, so we've already talked about the financial aspects and how much it costs to make a season of Hunting Purgatory versus how much I make back in return. And then the second aspect, Colton and I not really speaking as much anymore. Like I said, he's setting up his life on his end. I'm setting up my life on my end. And number 3, not...
Again, the whole Colton situation's being glossed over. People want to know what's going on with Colton. Like, you know, because otherwise it's just going to lead to speculation, and speculation leads to drama, and drama leads to, well, a lot of views.
Not just the financial aspect, but the outreach. I'm not reaching many people when I'm making paranormal investigations. So that's number 3. As a content creator, I have to reach more people in order for this channel to grow. All of you guys who are new to the channel, thank you so much for joining.
How the internet has received this comment alone is I have to cater to multiple people right now. I'm not catering to a lot of people by Paranormal Investigating is on the surface a fine argument to make. But it begs the question of, did you care about the content to begin with? Or was it just what worked at that moment? Because, you know, to say something like this and then be like, oh, I'm going to just switch it up because something else is working better. That's a very business approach mindset. You know, that's where the money is. That's where I'm going to. Fair enough. Like, everyone's got to make a living. But then your core fan base are going to look at you and be like, well, did we necessarily matter? Did the people that put you in the position that you're in now matter? Did the content that put you in the position you're in now matter? Did you particularly care about it at the time, or was it just because it was working at the time? Food for thought.
Joining me, I am going to continue to pump out content. Every now and then I'm going to get a little crazy and try something different. You don't succeed without taking risks. I remember when I was doing product reviews, I took a risk and made a dark web mystery box video. That video ended up getting 18 million views in like 1 month. If I never took that risk, you probably wouldn't know who I am right now. If I didn't take the risk to say, hey, I'm going to try to make some paranormal investigations and make one of the best paranormal series that anyone's ever seen, you wouldn't know who I am right now. So when I take risks, I don't always expect to succeed. I know that sometimes with taking a risk, there's going to be failures. And when you're on a platform of this size, those failures are going to be seen. They're going to be seen in the public. It's a fact, okay? But I have no shame in it. And that's what I want you to know right now.
Fair enough.
I will try to make different types of videos, and I will try to do different types of things with my channel.
I think that's, you know, again, on the surface, that's fair. No one wants to be known as a one-trick pony with their YouTube content. They want to be diverse. Unfortunately, with YouTube, it's a very weird one. Like, you get put in a box by YouTube and the algorithm, and it will cater to that particular algorithm, right? And that particular audience. So you can be put in a box, and it can be very difficult to pivot your content. And it can take a very, very long time. And most people just give up and fall back into the same old behaviors because, you know, if numbers don't work, people start commenting saying you fell off. That gets to you psychologically, and it bothers you. It does. But, you know, at the same time, you have got to take a risk, and sometimes you've just got to persevere with it in the hopes that it will succeed.
I have created through taking risks to bring you the best content that you could possibly get, and the person and the man that you're seeing in front of you right now. And then the last reason that Hunting Purgatory Season 6 hasn't returned yet is a very important one, and this is kind of a big one. So I don't even know why I made this last. This probably should have been first. I don't talk about religion that much. I don't. I'm not the kind of person that's like a holy warrior. I haven't been to church in a very long time. I'm just going to be honest right now. But I am a Christian. I just don't really talk about it publicly because I've never wanted to be one of those people who forces their opinion on other people. I always kept religion to myself. My connection is between me and God, and that's the way that it's always been. But you have to understand, when I'm making these seasons and I'm in these places all the time, it's heavy on the soul. It's heavy on the heart. And I know you guys might not really understand that because you haven't been to all the places that I've been. But when you're going to places and you're getting the initial walkthrough and you're hearing about how many children died here from some illness and how many mentally ill patients committed suicide by jumping off of this thing, being in these places week after week, coming home, being on the computer, creating these stories for you, it's a very, very dark headspace. Like the whole genre of paranormal, it all revolves around death, dying, sickness,
Drama.
illness, anxiety,
Drama.
depression,
Drama.
sadness,
Drama.
fear.
Drama.
I mean, these are just the first words that come to mind when I think about the paranormal genre. And creating Hunting Purgatory was super fun for me because I got to create a horror style series that was absolutely incredible to make. But when it comes to my mental health and my heart, these are not the kind of emotions that I want to be feeling on a regular basis. So I think that the vision got a little bit muddy.
To me, this comes across now as him kind of skirting around the topic of he's quitting paranormal stuff without actually saying that outright. Because if he comes on camera and he says, listen, I had a fantastic time creating 5 seasons of Hunting of Purgatory, but it's done. I'm finished. The subscriber count will plummet. Because although people will build up hardcore fan bases who will ride or die with you, and they will just be with you regardless of what happens, there will be people just there for your content. And if those people find out that you're not going to give them what they want, they'll just be like, right, I'll just go on to the next person that will give me what I want. And they'll unsubscribe. So to do this kind of video, he's basically saying, I'm not ruling out the fact that I'm not going to do it, but I'm not going to do it anymore. So then people will be like, well, there's still a chance. I'll stay subscribed because there's still a chance that I can get what I want from Casey. And there's still a chance that Hunting of Purgatory will return. I don't think it will. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't think it will. I think that time for Casey, from the sounds of it, is gone. You know, it's over, it's finished. And I think he's just trying to damage control as opposed to outright say, yeah, this isn't happening anymore.
And I'm not ashamed to say that. I started the channel because I wanted to motivate and inspire other people to be comfortable stepping out of their comfort zone and try to create a life for themselves that they've never had. I've done it. I have literally walked the shoes. Now I can come on camera and say, it's possible. Nothing is impossible. I have literally changed my life from sleeping on a sofa to having my own home. Okay.
I mean, completely respect the grind. This guy has been through it all. We've all heard the stories of how Casey went from homeless to, well, you know, making very good money on YouTube. And it's very respectable and it's honourable and it's, you know, it's complete respect to the guy for managing that because it's a hard thing to do. And the motivation was there, the grind was there. And he's done it, and he's persevered.
Okay, so I wasn't trying to make this video like a downer or anything, but I do know that a lot of you have been waiting on answers, and you've been asking questions time and time again, and there's still going to be people that don't watch this video and still ask the same questions in the comments of every video that I drop. When's the next paranormal investigation? When's the next scary video? I know, it's never going to end. But for those of you who do pay attention, hopefully I've given you the answers that you needed to understand exactly where I'm at, what's happening with the channel, and why there is no announcement or release date for Hunting Purgatory Season 6. As of right now, I'm flying solo. I'm a one-man show right now. I'm responsible for everything that you see on your screen, the recording, the editing, the website designs, the merchandise designs, the TikTok uploads, the Instagram uploads, the Twitter posts. It's all me. The thumbnail creation. I don't outsource any of my work. I don't pay someone to edit my videos that you see on the channel. I don't pay someone to make the thumbnails. I don't pay someone to write scripts for me or anything. I do it all. So what you see is what you get, and I'm glad that you're here with me. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I know that there's a strong potential that I might lose some of you because not having the answers that you're hoping for. And if that is the case, I understand, but it feels good to be able to come forward and tell you guys what's been on my mind, what's been on my heart. And I'm just glad that you guys tuned in. Thank you for watching and hearing me out. And I look forward to making more content, bringing you the best that I have to offer. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I'm still standing.
Okay, so, you know, from that, again, what I get is we're not going to be seeing any more Hunting of Purgatory, which is a real shame because, of course, it is what Casey is best known for. But, you know, he's got other stuff going on and it's working for him. And, you know, that's got to be respected and, you know, it is what it is, right? I think the video itself could have been handled better because, you know, he's left it obviously open-ended because he doesn't want to upset his fan base. He doesn't want to lose anybody in making that content, but he wants to manage expectations perhaps. But I think the way that it's happened is a bit murky and it's not very clear, and it's left me with a lot more questions than answers, especially surrounding, you know, the Colton situation and the Tanner situation. He's explained a lot why there's been no paranormal content and why there probably won't be any more, but he's kind of alluded to other things that he's not fully opened up about. And for me as a fan, I'm a bit more like, what? As opposed to, you know what I mean? What do you guys think on this though? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below while you're down there. Be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, tick on my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to the channel. And until next time guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Can't wait to see you in the next one, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.